Everybody, we're back again. It's been a little while. We took some time off doing videos. Today I'm back and we're going to be talking about how to make a scratch-made motorcycle rack for your vehicle. I mean, it could be even a light-duty vehicle, just as long as you've got a receiver type hitch, you know, with a decent amount of weight capacity. You know, you can make your own rack. How I'm doing mine is got just a basic U-Haul receiver style hitch. I took the ball out of it. I've got some square steel tubing here, which I've gone ahead and notched, and what I'm going to do is recess that in there. As you guys can see, I've cut it out with just basically Harbor Freight grinder, nothing super fancy. So we're going to go ahead and weld that in here. Obviously a guy's going to need some kind of fabrication tools to get the job done. I've got a Hobart welder right here. That's going to be a gas assisted MIG. We've got CO2 hooked up to it. Nothing super fancy. A couple hand tools, face mask for safety, basic pair of gloves, you know. So you got to have at least some basic fabrication stuff to make it happen. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be putting my my little stunt bike on the back of here, and we'll fast forward to that later on when I get done, and then we'll be able to, you know, I'll show you guys what it can do. And in my case, I'm going to make it like pretty decently sized because I want to be able to also fit my full-size Yamaha 450 dirt bike on there, and then I also want to be able to fit a street bike. Now, you can buy a lot of these racks for motorcycles if you spend some money. You know, you can get them for, say, like the weight capacity of a dirt bike. In my case, I'm going to go real beefy, big square tubing. This is all just off scrap steel, from extra scrap steel from around my property. So I'm going to be cutting and sectioning it. Ultimately, the whole unit's going to be longer than this. This is the big piece of steel I had. That's how long it is. I can always even put a wood deck or just put some longer steel pieces on it to bring it out some. But this is going to be the core support of my situation. So having said that, let's move on quickly. I'm going to get this welded up to the main beam. So if you guys want to bear with me here, I'm going to get set up. We've got our welding mask. You always need one of these so you don't burn your eyes, obviously. So, and you don't have to be like a super expert welder to get something like this done, but you will definitely want to have a gas setup so you're getting good welds, because something like this could be a safety issue if it broke apart. You want to have at least, you know, competent welds where you're getting good penetration. Another thing is that you could do for safety is, since this already has a hole through it, you could drill a hole through the beam and then come in with a big deadbolt. That way it kind of minimizes the chance of, say, like a stress crack on the welder. It just gives it double insurance of it ever letting go, since you will be supporting the weight of a motorcycle. So anyways, having said that, let's see here. Let's get our welder fired up. We're on power level 5. It's just a little 110 volt, so I'll be running max power to get a weld through some thick steel, get the crown. Let me see here. Let me buff some of the rust off that a little bit here so we can get a better weld. You guys bear with me here. Okay, let's grind that off a little bit. Okay, that'll make sure our welds stick good and everything like that. You want to have some clean surfaces, so. And I'm roughing it out here. I'm obviously just working off the ground on, you know, up here in the mountains right now, but it's pretty realistic. I mean, shows any guy could do it, and it's pretty much in his backyard, you know, welder and a couple tools. So, all right. So we've already got this piece previously cleaned off. Comes with a powder coating on there. Obviously your welds aren't going to stick with that. So we're cleaned up decently. So, let's see what we could do here. perfect, but it'll be pretty level, pretty accurate. We're kind of just eyeballing it here. We're not going to make any ultra precise measurements or anything like that. So, and if a guy could, you could measure with your levels and all that, but this U-haul piece is pretty level. You build off that. Should be respectable. So, all right. Okay, now we've got it tacked in place properly. Make sure we're getting the right amount of gas out of our setup here. Yeah, looks good. Okay, so we got it tacked in place. So let's go ahead and get some welds put down on this bad boy. We've got a little bit of a gap here. I'm gonna kind of have to fill, but it should be pretty solid. Oh. I tripped the breaker trying to clean up my wire. Give me just a second. Center breaker here. And we're going to go ahead and get our main receiver piece welded to our main beam. Okay, there's our first bead right there. It's not too bad. We laid it in kind of thick to fill in that gap we have. What I can do is probably tack it a little more and then knock that in with a hammer if you want to fill that in kind of, but it was kind of rough cut, but that's pretty good penetration. It should hold. It's not super professional caliber, but it's not too bad either. So let's go ahead and hit it with our next bead. Okay, not bad. Again, it don't have to be super perfect, but at the same time you want it to be good. You don't want your bike flying off the freeway when you're doing 80, so that wouldn't be a good thing. So let's move it around a little bit here and see if I can get another angle on it. Move around so you guys can see what's going on. We're gonna fast forward through this, as you guys can see. I'm gonna finish up the finishing welds on the main beam, and then I'll get back with you guys in a little bit, and I'll show you guys the rest of how I'm gonna design it. Talk to you in a little bit.